guys, welcome back to today's video. In today's video I'm going to talk to you about a few of the costings that are involved when owning an ST. I'm going to break it down into tyres, services, petrol, insurance, brakes and tax. All those things are pretty much like running costs, if you like, of having an ST. Now I wasn't going to actually film this video today, I was going to wait till next week, but the mod that I was going to do, which is inside this box, we'll leave that till next week. Still need a few parts for, so wait for that. That'll be a fun install, to be fair. So first of all, we're going to talk about tyres. When it comes to tyres, there are a few different places you can get them from. You might find some on Facebook Marketplace or one of the Facebook pages, you focus pages, forums and whatnot. You can find them on different websites, eBay, Gumtree. There's one called Black Circle. I found that if I went onto the website where I get my tyres from, which is Camskill, the tyres on there are a bit cheaper. Now, there was about £15 cheaper to buy from Camskill than they were from Black Circle. And yes, okay, I've got to pay for fitting, balancing, changing of the tyres and disposal and all that sort of stuff, but it still worked out cheaper than going through Black Circle. So I think with Black Circle it was going to be around £95 per tyre. Where I got them from was about £79 per tyre, so let's just round it to 80. That's £15 difference with each tyre that I bought. Now I bought 4, so you can do the maths. That's £60 it's going to cost me to get the same tyre to the factory. The garage. To get them to the garage for them to fit it and balance my wheel. So buying them from Camskill, like I did, you're only paying £80 a tyre, but you got to pay for fitting and balancing. Now, I found that the garage near me, local to me, that I've used a couple of times, High Q Garage, they only charge me about £25. So you've got £60, £25. So realistically, I've saved money. So that's where I got mine from. Next on the list is tax. I pay, what did I put down that I pay for mine? Mine is just under £30 a month. So you think that over the course of 12 months is probably around 350 quid altogether. So that's something else to take into consideration. Next, we'll talk about petrol. And petrol costs, depending obviously on where you are, what fuel you've got available to you, and all those sorts of factors. There's a few different things you could take into consideration, but at the moment I think I use Tesco Momentum 99. I've always used it. That's what I use. Hate it or love it. That's me. I do my shopping at Tesco's every week, so I'm there anyway. So for me, Tesco Momentum 99. I believe it's around £1.20 a litre at the time of me filming this video. And all the prices that I quote in this video are the prices that are obviously current right now, that are going on in the world. Obviously fuel prices are going to fluctuate, they do all the time, and depending on where you get things, like I say, Camskill or eBay or Black Circle, wherever, or just go to a local garage, all the prices are going to be different. So I'm giving you this as pretty much of a guide. It's up to you to do your own research, find your own discount codes and things like that. I drive like an old man. I do drive like Miss Daisy. I don't go anywhere particularly fast a lot of the time. I've usually got my son in the car or my wife or both. Now my son likes speeding, but I won't do it obviously while I've got him in the car in speed anyway. But I don't, floor it and stuff in lower gears, because I wouldn't want to put him at risk. So point being, I don't drive very fast, and I go through roughly £20 to £30 worth of petrol a week. I only do a maximum of about 120 miles a week, and I'm still having to put £20 to £30 in each week. So over the course of a month, a year, you know, you can work that out for yourselves. The next thing we'll talk about is insurance. Insurance is going to be different for everybody. It's going to be different for you. It's going to be different for me. It's going to be different for Joe Blogs down the road. It's going to be different for your neighbour who's next door to you who's got exactly the same car. That's just the way the world works because everyone has different driving abilities, different driving qualifications. You could have Pass Plus, is what it used to be called when I did my test like 14 years ago this year. So I've been driving for 14 years, and I've got about 10 years no claims bonus. And obviously, it depends how the car's stored, where it's stored, if it's in front of your house, if it's on your property, if it's not on your property. For example, on a drive or in a garage or anything like that. All these, there's so many different factors to consider when insuring a car. I could sit here and talk to you all day about it, but this video is going long enough. So for me, I pay at the moment £45 a month with green light, and I've got, like I said, I've got 10 years no claims bonus. I've been driving for 14 years, and the car is kept overnight in the garden. The garden is kind of away from the house, so it's classed as not on the property. I don't know if that goes in my favour or not, but like I say, it's in a private locked garden behind me. Also, I don't actually do that many miles. As I've just said in the previous petrol one, I only do about 100 miles a week, at maximum 120. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have to drive to work. I only have to drive to the shops. I don't even have to pick the wife up from work anymore because she's not at work, she's on furlough. So I think I've put down maybe 6,000 miles, maybe 7,000 miles a year. I don't do that much. When I bought the car, I was on 142,500 miles the shell had done. And I think now, I think I might have just clocked 154 or 153, and I've had the car for just over 2 years. So I haven't done many miles at all. So again, mileage is another thing to take into consideration when you do your insurance quote. So the next thing I want to talk about is services. They recommend you do an oil change at least every 6 months or every 5,000 miles, I think it is. Well, for me, that's every year, isn't it? Like I said, I've just told you the mileage I do. So I do try to do mine every 6 months or so. Speaking of which, it's probably coming up. But when it comes to service parts, you can go to Halfords, you can go online, you can go to reputable tuners like BD Performance, Matt Lewis Motorsport, Wayside Performance, all these sort of places that will sell you like a service kit or service items individually. So it'd be air filter if you haven't got an aftermarket one, oil filter, oil, spark plugs, cabin filter, all these fuel filter if you like, all these different serviceable items. I've got a list in front of me of a breakdown of prices. So we've got oil. Oil can fluctuate, and also you'll be told different variants. Now, I ordered mine from the last lot I had mine from Matt Lewis Motorsport, and they gave me 0W40. Some places will tell you can use 5W30, but I think realistically there's not that much of a difference that's going to, it's not like you're putting in the completely wrong grade of oil. Both of these are recommended to be used. The 0W40, however, I do believe is for higher mileage vehicles and modified vehicles. So just do your own research for your own car, for your own peace of mind. And that's coming out at, for some 0W30, you're looking at the moment for around £50 for 4 litres. Now, the STs hold 6.2 from memory. So whether you buy a 4 litre and then buy a couple of extra 1 litres, or if you just buy 2 lots of the 4 litres, which is probably going to work out better value for money, then obviously, you choose which you want to do. Then you've got oil filter, which was around £10. Air filter, like I say, if you haven't got aftermarket, you're looking at around £20. cabin filter was anywhere between 15 and £30 for the same thing. I couldn't understand that one. So let's just average that out at say £20 ish. You're going to be looking for a cabin filter. Spark plugs. Spark plugs for the ST. When I did my research, I found that the ST spark plugs were more expensive than the updated version of the RS spark plugs, which most tuners will tell you to use, especially if you're running more power than standard, because they run a heat range colder than the ST range. They work out for five. Now, bear in mind, like I say, you're going to have five for your 5 cylinders, around £50. All in total, those items that I've just listed, you can get deals on. If you go onto places like Euro Car Parts, you can, quite often than not, they'll have a discount code, whether it be something like Weekend 45 is usually one, Love 50, that's one I've used a lot in the past, and you can get up to 50% off whatever you're buying. That also leads on to the last one that I'm going to talk to you about, and that's the brakes. Now, when you're buying the brakes, again, if you go to Euro Car Parts, you can use a discount code, so you will get up to 50% off. You know, they do deals sometimes where brakes or service parts are discounted at the checkout, and then you can add on any discount code that you have. And what I've done is I've done this for Brembo pads, for pads and discs for the front and the rear. So everything the prices I'm quoting now are the prices that I found today on Brembo parts. So front pads were £80, front discs were £100 each, and you need two, so there's £200. So you're looking at £280 for front brakes and front discs. Like I say, you can get a code from certain places if you wish to. If not, then you might be spending a little bit more. Now for the rears, it was only £45 for the rear pads, and the rear discs were £50 each, and obviously you need two, so there's £100. So that's just something else to bear in mind when you are doing changing of the brakes. Now, I've listed the things that I have because those are the most them are the most used parts that you're going to go through with the ST: brakes, tyres, services, and you need tax, insurance, and obviously petrol to run the car. So hopefully this was helpful for some of you. If you don't have an ST and you're just looking to buy one, then hopefully this guide will help. So like I say, cheeky mod in this one, coming next week if parts arrive. So thank you for watching, guys. I do hope this was helpful for you. Smash the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that, and the like button if you can. Drop me a comment down below, let me know about what you think of the prices I've quoted, or if you can get it cheaper anywhere else or anything like that. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.